Talk about murtad milli, this phenomena called murtad milli. So what is murtad milli? Murtad milli is a person who converted to Islam or reverted to Islam, quote unquote, for a while, and eventually got out of Islam. So we don't see that much murtad milli. We only see people who converted to Islam. We don't see them converting and reverting back to their original way of life. Although I know few of them people who converted to Islam and eventually lose Islam or lose faith, but we have documented journey of a murtad milli. This girl converted to Islam and eventually became very radical, even so that she made a blasphemy against the Prophet and the Holy Book. Although people were trolling her, so I often wonder why people were so rude with this girl. She is German, living in Canada, and she has many Muslim friends, very like European Muslim, like Albanian and Dagestani. So she's a fine Muslim, appealing to white people. So eventually I got to know why people were hating her because of her political view. She was very right wing. She was almost Nazi. You can see three phrases of her. You can see all of this are same person. Lara, ISIS. See, she named herself ISIS. This is same person like Clubhouse Larry. See this ISIS, and she put this very racist image of a black person. So that's why Muslims were so against her. So why she converted to Islam? Maybe she liked maybe she don't like the Trinity aspect of Islam. But when those white people converted to Islam, when those Christian evangelical converted to Islam, they actually think that Christian religion is very liberalized. Christian churches are getting liberal, and Western society it's in downfall. And this thing that only Islam can resist of those liberalization. So that's why we could see her real racist fake when she put this racist image of a black person. See, this is the same person, Lara, and she was often changing her username. I start following her when she was Noor. You can say this is the same person. One thing that I really admired about her is that she really hated the Pajit and the Sikh and the Hindus. Even when she even when she openly apostatized, she actually very brutally sabotage this Pajit who were celebrating her apostatizing. So we will see her. So this was her original account when she was a Muslim. This was when she was a Muslim. She talked about the Pajit, their obsession with Israel. She was defending Islam and Muslim. So this is the first time I saw her saying that she said that I was a Muslim. He was like, oh, do you believe it? She was saying that I was a Muslim. So that was a red flag for me. Her friends know that she actually reverted, and she left Islam. So this is her agenda. That's why she converted to Islam. See what she wrote. Catholic voted for far right in France. Muslim voted for extreme left. Shocked, but this is what you get when the right wing based election was hating Islam. Muslim are far more religious than Catholic in France, and so basically she was saying that we can reach out to Muslim and we could be an ally and against the extreme liberalization of their society. Islam can resist this. This is the main reason why those loony converted to Islam, and she protested. Andrew Tate converted to Islam, and she don't like it. Although she and Andrew Tate have same agenda when it comes to Islam. So this is when she publicly said that she is in love with this man, and somebody said that you cannot be with somebody who is not a Muslim. You have to leave Islam. So that could be the turning point. This is where she openly blaspheme against the Prophet, and this is like a typical Christian talking point. She got to know, she have to know this before converting to Islam. She must know this all. It's not something new that you actually come across, and she came to know this hadees and read this, and oh my god, your Prophet was like this. This is, everybody know this. This is like famous even in backward India. People know it. She must have known this before converting to Islam. Her agenda was something else. Now some Hindu were celebrating, and she actually, this is the best part, she actually insulted this Pajit who was celebrating her, openly celebrating and blaspheme against the Prophet. So this is happened. Let's take her as a face value that she genuinely come to know this information about Islam, and she genuinely left Islam. So I try to reconcile. I try to approach her that this is not historical, this is not true, this is mythical, semi-historical. But we already lose our sister, and if she genuinely this was the case, and she was very very persist about it, that this is real hadith, this is sahih hadith, this is written in your recorded book, and if you don't believe in, you have to throw away most of your Islam. So she made this point. This is sahih hadith, you cannot say that. So I think there is something else. There is more to her reverting back to her European way of life, and that could be the reason that she didn't feel comfortable, because Christianity give more freedom to women. Like you can be a bad bitch, you can be a prostitute. In Islam, you have to be like a nun. Every Muslim woman should be like a nun. You have to carry this piety all the time, most of your time. Islam don't give it that freedom. Although she know few Muslim women who are like very radical like her, but I think that could be a genuine concern regarding her. That this was she was when she was a Noor. Then I found her, and she was very religious, and she was talking to all the Muslim matter. She was talking to Muslim, like, what you cannot reach out to her. Like it or not, there is a beauty to Islam. Islam give white people and brown people in same level of equality, like it or not. Even though Muslims celebrate white convert more often, but they know when they convert that they don't have much privilege in this community. They don't know. They know that this is not their religion. This is not. You cannot dictate. You cannot alter our book. You have to learn Arabic to understand. In Christianity, you have to learn Latin and all the European texts to understand. There is a history of Pope becoming most of the Pope were European. They were never a African Pope. There were few Arab popes, but there is no history of, because it is a European religion. Christianity is a European religion, and she's now in her native place, in her comfort zone. So she could be lying, or there could be other reason for her conversion to Islam, as I said before, her political worldview. But let's take this as a face value. Let's take her example. There are, because like it or not, there are blasphemous thing that is written in our holy book, in our recorded history, and in our Sahih Hadith. We cannot deny that. Unless we have the stuff, the blasphemous just stuff written in our book, people will going to take advantage of it, whether they are Muslim or non-Muslim, or they just are new Muslim. People will find out this stuff, and will going to leave Islam. It will going to affect their faith, their iman, unless we remove it. I'm using her as an example, although she could be lying, or she could be trolling the Muslim community. She was never. That could be true that she never was a Muslim. But let's take her as a face value, and I'm using her as an example. Her account is now it's dead. It deactivated, so that's why I'm using her information in public platform.